chosen ones, your detachment, confuses them. They don't know what you are. You felt it quietly growing inside you, like a calm distance that others cannot explain. And this moment matters more than you realize, because what is happening in you is not loss, but awakening, not coldness, but clarity, not emptiness, but divine alignment that many around you cannot understand. And if you stop listening now, you may miss the truth that is gently shaping your future and protecting your peace in ways you have been praying for without even knowing it. Type Amen if you agree. You are not becoming distant because you no longer care. You are becoming still because your spirit has learned what deserves your energy and what does not. And that shift confuses people who are used to your constant giving, your constant explaining, your constant presence in places where your soul was quietly being drained. There is a sacred change happening within you, and it feels unfamiliar even to you, because you once responded quickly, you once reacted deeply, you once held on to things that now no longer hold power over your heart. And this transformation is not something you forced, it is something that God is gently building inside you. Take a moment to like this video, because this may be the exact confirmation your heart has been waiting for. They look at you and wonder why you are not the same, why you do not chase what you once chased, why you no longer argue, why you do not explain yourself the way you used to. And what they cannot see is that your silence is not weakness, your detachment is not rejection, your calm is not emptiness. It is strength that has been shaped in quiet places where only God was present with you. You have outgrown certain reactions, and that alone unsettles people who are still expecting the old version of you to return. But that version of you was never meant to stay. It was only a stage, a season, a step toward who you are becoming now. Your detachment is a form of protection, not against people but against the patterns that once kept you stuck. And God is guiding you into a space where your peace is not easily shaken, where your emotions are no longer controlled by every word, every action, every misunderstanding that comes your way. This is why you feel different, because you are different. And the change is real, and it is holy, and it is leading you into a life that requires a stronger heart and a clearer mind. Type 1111 if you believe. There were moments when you questioned yourself, when you wondered if something was wrong with you, when you felt strange for not reacting the way you used to, but deep inside you also felt a quiet assurance, a gentle knowing that this shift is right. That this new calm is not something to fear but something to trust. You are learning to stand without needing approval, to walk without needing validation, to breathe without carrying the weight of other people's expectations. And that kind of freedom is unfamiliar to those who are still tied to noise and constant reaction. God is teaching you the beauty of stillness, the power of restraint, the strength of choosing peace over chaos, and while others may see distance, heaven sees growth, heaven sees healing, heaven sees alignment. You are no longer trying to fix everything, no longer trying to hold everything together, no longer trying to be everything for everyone, and this is where your real strength begins, not in doing more, but in letting go of what was never yours to carry. There is a quiet confidence growing in you, and it does not need to be loud, it does not need to prove anything. It simply exists, steady and rooted, like a tree that has survived storms and now stands firm without fear. People notice this, even if they do not understand it, and their confusion is not your burden to carry, because your journey is not meant to be explained to everyone. It is meant to be lived with faith and trust in God's direction. You are stepping into a place where your energy is sacred, where your time is valuable, where your presence is intentional, And this shift is not accidental, it is guided, it is purposeful, it is divine. And even when it feels lonely at times, even when it feels like no one truly understands you, you are not alone, because God is closer to you in this season than ever before, shaping you, strengthening you, preparing you for something that requires this exact version of you. You are not losing people, you are losing illusions. And that truth may feel heavy at first, but it is also freeing because it allows you to see clearly, to feel honestly, to walk without confusion. There is nothing broken in you, nothing missing in you, nothing wrong with you. There is only a transformation unfolding, and it is leading you into a life where your peace is protected, your heart is guarded, and your spirit is aligned with something greater than anything you have known before. And as you continue to walk this path, you will begin to understand that your detachment is not separation, it is elevation. It is a sign that you are no longer meant to stay in places that cannot meet the level of peace that God is building within you. You are no longer reacting the way you used to, and that change is not accidental, it is intentional, it is guided, it is shaped by moments where you chose peace even when your emotions wanted to rise, where you chose silence even when you had the right words ready to speak, and those choices are building a strength within you that cannot be easily seen but can always be felt. Could the CIA actually be hiding a 7-second ritual capable of turning money problems into success? A confidential CIA finding reportedly reveals a special 7-second practice that activates brainwaves linked to attracting wealth. Supported by science and 4 elite laboratories, this simple ritual done at home is helping struggling people move toward dream lifestyles. But this page might not stay online for long. Click the link in the description and comments before it is erased from the internet. People who once understood you easily now find themselves confused because they were used to a version of you that responded quickly, that explained everything, that stayed even when it hurt. And now you are different. Now you are calm. Now you are selective. Now you are aligned with something deeper than surface emotions. Type 1010 to receive blessings. This detachment that you feel is not coldness, it is clarity. It is the result of seeing things for what they truly are instead of what you hoped they could be. And that kind of vision changes everything, because once you see clearly, you cannot go back to pretending. You are learning to let things be what they are, without trying to control them, without trying to fix them, without trying to force them into something they were never meant to become. And that lesson is freeing your heart in ways you did not expect. There was a time when you carried everything, when you held on to people, situations, and emotions long after they had served their purpose. But now you are learning to release, to trust, to allow things to move without your constant effort, and that shift is bringing a quiet peace into your life. God is guiding you into a place where your peace is not easily disturbed, where your emotions are not controlled by every small change, where your heart is not overwhelmed by things that once consumed you. And this transformation is not something that happens overnight. It is something that grows slowly, gently, steadily. You may notice that you no longer feel the need to respond to everything, and that is not because you do not care. It is because you understand that not everything deserves your energy. Not everything requires your attention. Not everything needs your reaction. This is wisdom growing inside you. This is maturity shaping your spirit. This is God teaching you how to move through life with calm instead of chaos, with clarity instead of confusion, with peace instead of pressure. There are moments when people may misunderstand your silence, when they may think you have changed in a negative way, when they may question your intentions, but their misunderstanding does not define your truth. because your journey is not meant to be fully understood by those who are not walking it. You are learning to be okay with being misunderstood, and that is a powerful place to stand, because it means you are no longer seeking approval. You are no longer adjusting yourself to fit into expectations that were never aligned with who you are becoming. Type 222 to claim miracles. Your detachment is creating a boundary that protects your peace, and this boundary is not built with anger or resentment. It is built with understanding, with awareness, with a quiet decision to no longer allow certain things to disturb your inner world. You are becoming more aware of what feels right and what does not, more sensitive to the energy around you, more intentional with where you place your time and your attention, and this awareness is guiding you toward a life that feels lighter, clearer, more aligned. There is a strength in you now that does not need to be loud. It does not need to prove anything. It simply exists, steady and calm, like a quiet river that flows without resistance, without force, without struggle. You are no longer chasing things that drain you, no longer holding on to things that confuse you, no longer trying to force connections that do not feel natural. And this shift is bringing a sense of freedom that you may not have felt before. God is showing you that you do not have to carry everything, that you do not have to fix everything, that you do not have to be everything for everyone. And this understanding is allowing you to breathe in a new way, to move in a new way, to live in a new way. There is a peace that comes with letting go, a peace that comes with trusting that what is meant for you will remain, and what is not will fall away without your effort, without your struggle, without your constant involvement. You are stepping into a place where your presence is intentional, where your words are chosen carefully, where your actions are guided by clarity instead of impulse. And this place is where your true strength begins to show. People may not understand this version of you, and that is okay, because your growth was never meant to be comfortable for everyone around you. It was meant to be necessary for your own journey. You are becoming someone who values peace over noise, who chooses stillness over reaction, who understands that not everything requires a response, and that understanding is changing the way you experience life. There is a calmness in you now that cannot be shaken easily. And this calmness is not something that was given to you. It is something you have grown into, something you have developed through experiences that taught you what truly matters and what does not. You are no longer pulled in every direction, no longer overwhelmed by every emotion, no longer affected by every opinion. And this is what freedom feels like. Not the absence of challenges, but the presence of peace in the middle of them. God is preparing you for something that requires this level of clarity, this level of strength, this level of peace, and even if you do not fully understand it yet, you can feel that something is changing, something is shifting, something is aligning. You are not who you used to be, and that is not something to fear, it is something to embrace, because the person you are becoming is stronger, wiser, calmer, more aligned with the purpose that God has placed within you. And as you continue to walk this path, you will begin to see that your detachment is not something that separates you from life. It is something that connects you more deeply to what truly matters, to what truly aligns with your spirit, to what truly belongs in your journey. Why are so many people claiming that this CIA ritual transformed their life in just 7 seconds? This leaked method, connected to the CIA, is said to be both powerful and effective. The short brainwave technique, backed by 4 neuroscience labs, is helping everyday people go from financial struggle to prosperity. Dream homes, new cars, and travel are becoming possible. But this video could disappear at any time. Click the link in the description and comments now before it is gone. You are not losing anything that was meant for you. You are only releasing what no longer fits, what no longer aligns, what no longer serves the path that you are walking now. And in this release, you are finding yourself, not the version of you that was shaped by expectations, but the version of you that is rooted in truth, in peace, in alignment with something greater than anything you have known before. You are no longer the person who waits for others to recognize your worth, because you have started to feel it within yourself, not in a loud or prideful way, but in a calm and steady knowing that does not need to be announced or proven. This quiet knowing is what makes your detachment so powerful, because it is not driven by anger, it is not driven by disappointment, it is driven by understanding, by clarity, by a deep awareness of what aligns with your spirit and what does not. Type 777 if you trust God. There was a time when you gave more than you received, when you stayed longer than you should have, when you tried harder than was necessary, and you did all of that from a place of love. But now that love is being guided into a new direction, a direction that includes yourself, your peace, your growth, you are learning that love does not mean losing yourself, that care does not mean constant sacrifice, that kindness does not mean allowing your boundaries to be crossed again and again. And this lesson is changing everything inside you. People who knew the old version of you may feel unsettled because they no longer see the same reactions, the same availability, the same willingness to carry everything without question, and their confusion is simply a reflection of your growth. You are no longer easily pulled into situations that disturb your peace, no longer drawn into conversations that lead nowhere, no longer attached to outcomes that are not in your control. And this is where your strength is quietly rising. God is teaching you how to stand in your own space without fear, how to exist without constantly adjusting yourself to fit into places that no longer feel right, how to move forward without looking back at what you have already outgrown. There is a sense of freedom in this, even if it feels unfamiliar at times, because you are stepping away from patterns that once kept you tied to confusion, to overthinking, to emotional exhaustion, and you are stepping into a space where your mind is clearer, your heart is lighter, your spirit is stronger. Type 1212 if you trust in Jesus. This detachment is also teaching you patience, not the kind that waits in frustration, but the kind that trusts in timing, that understands that not everything needs to happen immediately, that knows that what is meant for you will come without force. You are no longer chasing what is not aligned with you, no longer trying to hold on to things that are slipping away, no longer forcing connections that feel heavy. And in this release, you are finding a peace that does not depend on circumstances. There is a calm confidence growing within you, and it is not loud, it is not showy, it is simply there, steady and unshaken, guiding you quietly through each step you take. You are beginning to understand that not everyone is meant to walk with you in every season, that some people are part of your journey for a time, and when that time passes, it is okay to let go without anger, without resentment, without holding on to what has already ended. This understanding is bringing a sense of closure to things that once felt unresolved, a sense of peace to situations that once felt confusing, a sense of clarity to relationships that once felt complicated. God is aligning your path in ways that you cannot fully see yet, but you can feel it. You can sense that something is changing, that something is shifting, that something is preparing you for what is ahead. You are no longer afraid of being alone, because you are starting to understand that being alone is not the same as being lonely. It is a space where you can hear clearly, where you can feel deeply, where you can grow without distraction. There is a strength in choosing peace, a strength in walking away from what no longer feels right, a strength in standing firm in your own understanding, even when others do not see it. You are becoming more intentional with your time, more careful with your energy, more aware of what you allow into your life, and this awareness is shaping a future that is more aligned, more balanced, more peaceful. People may still question your change, they may still try to understand why you are not the same, but their questions do not require your explanation, because your growth is not something that needs to be justified. You are not here to fit into expectations. You are here to walk in alignment with the path that God is placing before you, and that path requires a version of you that is calm, that is clear, that is detached from what no longer serves you. There is a quiet strength in you now that cannot be easily shaken, and this strength is not something that came from ease. It came from everything you have walked through, everything you have learned, everything you have released. You are no longer reacting from emotion alone. You are responding from understanding, from clarity, from a place that is deeper than surface feelings, and that shift is changing the way you experience everything around you. God is showing you that you do not need to prove your worth, that you do not need to chase validation, that you do not need to explain your every move. And this understanding is freeing you from the need to be constantly seen and understood by others. You are becoming comfortable in your own presence, at peace in your own space, aligned with your own journey, and this comfort is something that cannot be taken from you. There is a sense of direction in you now, even if you cannot fully explain it, even if you cannot see the entire path ahead. You know that you are moving in the right direction, that you are stepping into something that is meant for you. Is it really possible that a 7-second ritual could turn financial hardship into sudden prosperity? A study connected to a CIA leak introduces a short money ritual that is already changing lives. Approved by 4 neuroscience labs, it trains the mind to draw money toward you. People who once struggled financially are now living their dream lifestyles with luxury homes, vehicles, and travel. But this information might not remain online. Click the description and comments now before it is permanently removed. You are not the same, and you are not meant to be the same, because growth changes you, clarity changes you, understanding changes you, and all of these changes are leading you into a life that is more aligned with who you truly are. You are no longer disturbed by every change, no longer shaken by every word, no longer affected by every reaction that comes from others. And this does not mean you have become distant in a negative way. It means you have become rooted in a place that is not easily moved. People notice this quiet strength in you, even if they do not fully understand it. And sometimes their confusion shows in the way they speak, in the way they act, in the way they try to bring you back to who you used to be. But you are no longer that person, and you are not meant to return to that version of yourself. Type yes to receive miracles. You are learning to stand in your truth without needing to explain it, to hold your peace without needing to defend it, to walk your path without needing everyone to agree with it. And that kind of confidence is built slowly, gently, through moments where you choose yourself, even when it feels unfamiliar. There was a time when silence felt uncomfortable to you, when you felt the need to fill every space with words, to respond to every situation, to make sure everything was understood. But now you are learning that silence can be powerful, that silence can protect your energy, that silence can speak more than words ever could. This silence is not emptiness, it is presence, it is awareness, it is a calm understanding that not everything needs your involvement, not everything requires your attention. And this understanding is bringing a new kind of freedom into your life. God is teaching you that your peace is valuable, that your energy is sacred, that your time is not meant to be spent on things that do not align with your growth. And this lesson is shaping the way you move through each day. There is a calmness in you now that feels different, that feels steady, that feels real, and even when situations around you seem uncertain, you are no longer pulled into that uncertainty. You remain grounded, you remain clear, you remain aligned. Type 1111 to affirm. This detachment is also revealing truths that were once hidden from you. Truths about people, truths about situations, truths about yourself. And while some of these truths may have been difficult to accept at first, they are now bringing clarity into your life. You are seeing things as they are, not as you hoped they would be, and this clarity is allowing you to make decisions that are aligned with your peace, with your growth, with your purpose. There is a strength in walking away from what does not serve you, a strength in choosing yourself without guilt, a strength in letting go without needing closure from others, and this strength is becoming a part of who you are. You are no longer trying to hold everything together, no longer trying to fix what is not yours to fix, no longer trying to carry what is not yours to carry, and this release is bringing a lightness into your spirit. God is guiding you into a space where your heart is not weighed down by unnecessary burdens, where your mind is not filled with constant overthinking, where your spirit is not overwhelmed by things that do not belong to your journey. There is a quiet confidence growing in you, and it does not need validation, it does not need recognition. It simply exists, steady and unshaken, guiding you through each moment with clarity and calm. You are beginning to understand that not everything that leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes it is a clearing, sometimes it is a preparation, sometimes it is a way for something better to enter, something that aligns with who you are becoming. This understanding is changing the way you see endings. It is changing the way you experience change. It is changing the way you move forward, because you are no longer holding on to what is meant to be released. There is a sense of trust growing within you, a trust in God's timing, a trust in your own path, a trust that what is meant for you will come without force, without struggle, without confusion. You are no longer chasing what is not aligned, no longer forcing what does not feel right, no longer trying to control what is beyond your control. And this shift is bringing a peace that feels natural, that feels real, that feels lasting. People may still try to understand you. They may still question your change. They may still wonder why you are not the same, but their understanding is not required for your growth. Their approval is not needed for your peace. You are walking a path that is guided by something deeper, something that cannot always be explained, something that is felt more than it is seen, and this path is leading you into a life that is more aligned with your purpose. There is a strength in you now that is not easily shaken, and this strength is not something that came from ease. It came from everything you have experienced, everything you have learned, everything you have released. You are no longer reacting from a place of confusion. You are responding from a place of clarity, from a place of understanding, from a place that is rooted in peace. God is showing you that you do not need to prove your worth, that you do not need to explain your journey, that you do not need to seek validation from those who do not understand your path. You are becoming comfortable in your own presence, at peace in your own space, aligned with your own journey, and this comfort is something that cannot be taken from you. There is a sense of direction within you. Even if you cannot see the entire path ahead, you know that you are moving forward. You know that you are stepping into something that is meant for you. What is the real story behind the 7-second brain technique that is creating new millionaires? A surprising CIA leak has revealed a short brain ritual that helps ordinary people eliminate debt and attract major wealth. With support from 4 neuroscience labs, this simple method practiced at home is turning financial stress into a better life. Homes, cars, and vacations are becoming reality. But the government may remove this information at any time. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. You are not the same, and that is not something to question. It is something to embrace, because the person you are becoming is stronger, clearer, more aligned with the life that God is preparing for you. And as you continue to move forward, you will begin to understand that your detachment is not a weakness, it is a strength, it is a protection, it is a sign that you are no longer meant to stay in places that do not align with your peace. You are beginning to notice how easily you can step back from situations that once pulled you in, how naturally you can remain calm when others expect a reaction, how clearly you can see what is real and what is only surface. And this clarity is not something that came from nowhere. It is something that God has been building in you through every lesson you have lived. People may still try to understand why you are no longer reacting the same way, why you are no longer involved in the same patterns, why you seem distant at times, but what they are really seeing is your growth, your healing, your alignment, and not everyone is ready to understand that. Type 1212 if you walk by faith. You are no longer easily influenced by the emotions of others, no longer pulled into the energy around you, no longer affected by every shift that happens outside of you. And this is because your center is no longer outside of you. It is within you, grounded, steady, connected to God. There is a calm strength in you now that allows you to observe without absorbing, to care without losing yourself, to be present without becoming overwhelmed. And this balance is something that takes time to grow, but once it is there, it changes everything. You are learning to let people be who they are without trying to change them, to let situations unfold without trying to control them, to let life move without forcing it into a shape that feels comfortable. And this surrender is not weakness, it is trust. God is guiding you into a place where you are not constantly reacting, not constantly fixing, not constantly adjusting, but simply being, simply trusting, simply moving forward with a quiet confidence that does not need to be explained. There is a deep peace that comes with this, a peace that does not depend on circumstances, a peace that remains even when things around you are uncertain, and this peace is becoming your foundation. Type 1010 to receive blessings. You are no longer chasing clarity from others, no longer seeking answers from places that cannot give them, no longer waiting for validation that you no longer need. And this independence is bringing a sense of freedom that you may not have felt before. There is a quiet understanding in you now that not everything is meant to be explained, not everything is meant to be understood immediately, not everything is meant to be held on to, and this understanding is allowing you to move through life with less resistance. You are becoming more present, more aware, more connected to yourself, and this connection is guiding your choices, your actions, your direction, in a way that feels natural and right. People may still feel confused by your detachment, but their confusion does not change your truth. It does not alter your path. It does not take away from the growth that is happening inside you. You are no longer trying to make everyone comfortable, no longer adjusting yourself to meet expectations that do not align with your spirit, no longer holding on to roles that no longer fit who you are becoming. There is a freedom in this, a lightness, a sense of ease that comes from simply being yourself, without the need to explain or justify it. God is showing you that your value is not in how much you give, how much you explain, how much you sacrifice, but in who you are, in the peace you carry, in the clarity you walk with.